how does Tony decide what strategies, tactics to use on a mission against an enemy? Curious about your thought process.
Well, first of all, you got to figure out what we're talking about. My experience in the savages that we slayed and killed and shot. First of all, it's better to shoot someone in the back. So, an ambush where you can catch him walking away from you is always the best. But front, you just BTF and figure it out. We were talking about Sun Tzu there, the art of war, and I thought, he says if you know yourself and your enemy, you don't need to fear 1,000 battles or whatever. Well, I know myself pretty damn good, and I know my group pretty damn good, and I don't have time to read all that stuff and figure it out. So I figured I'd just hate the enemy. I'll just hate them, and that hate will fuel my passion to make the operation as best I can. And work it the best I can, and learn from the mistakes that didn't work out. But that kind of when you got that, it kind of pyramids down, and everything kind of works itself out, And you can't be afraid to try something different, and you can't be afraid to bounce it off people. That's what's great about Jocko. I would bounce something off of him, and he'd be like, "Yep, that's good," or he'd go, "Now wait a minute," because he wouldn't let it go. He'd be like, "Can you walk me through this again?" Roger, we're going to do that. And I would also really, when I'd let other people run operations, or I would work with other groups, I would just kind of wait for when they glanced over something. And I'd go, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, go. Now, what are we going to do here? Well, we're just going to do this. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Please explain it to me. Well, and they hadn't really thought about it. Yep. And that's the little glitch in the mission plan that's going to get you killed. Mm-hmm. But you can't take a lot of time to plan an op sometimes. Sometimes it's like, all right, you know what? An assault. Here we're going to go. We're going to go in strong like cowboys, or we're going to go on the prowl. We're going to go in surreptitious entry, be real stealthy. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it calls for a straight up punch them up, just mix it up and BTF. And that's easy to do because you don't got to plan much. Okay, let's just go over there and kill everybody.
Show us where they go, and we'll go.
Yep. So I don't know if that answers that question, but
yeah,
I think.
And from my perspective, and you just kind of made it sound like no big deal, but Tony was always poring over the imagery, looking at the maps, trying to figure out which angle, trying to figure out the best spot, that's what he was doing all the time, just trying to analyze as much as he could and make the best plan. And I think also, man, the experience level, because like I said,
right,
even pre-war, pre-9/11, how many freaking ops did you and I do, training ops, where we did all this stuff?
2,000.
Yeah, it's just like over and over. Wow. And so by the time you get there, it's really, even though these weren't combat operations, we learned a lot from them. And there was little adjustments we had to make for sure. But for the most part, what you learned how to do is you learned how to take a group of guys and get them to do something.
Right.
And when you learn how to do that, okay, you want us to do this? Cool. I know how to take a group of guys and get them to do something. It doesn't matter what that thing is. I can get a group of guys to do something. And that's what's beneficial.
Yep.
That's what all that years of experience helps you out with. It doesn't necessarily help you. It didn't help us with doing the specific mission that night.
No, of course not, because you can't cover everything.
No.
At that point, I had 3 years as an instructor in land warfare, and it was my 9th deployment. So I'd been in 8 platoons or whatever, and there's not much more I was gonna learn from another 6 months of training. It's pretty much, there's no real thing I was going, wow, I've never done this before, yeah, okay.
Yeah.